Nice plan. This is. I think we'll have a lot to say about this.
I think we probably will.
Megatron must be stopped, no matter the cost.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Autopod Decepticast. This is your weekly podcast that delivers a minute-by-minute breakdown of the 1986 Transformers movie. This is episode 57, which means we're covering the 56:01 to the 57-minute mark. I am your host, Aaron, and with me, ladies and gentlemen, are the winners of the Night Court's Dan Fielding and white version of Arsenio Hall lookalike contest. Good sirs, please introduce yourselves.
Well, I think that all this talk about the death of the sexual revolution is really premature, don't you? I'm Ryan, by the way. I'm the Dan Fielding Ryan.
Hi, and I'm Caleb, the white Arsenio Hall.
Do
I still look like Arsenio?
I don't know.
Nah,
Make a crazy face.
Or like that. I don't even know. To our listeners, when we were all in junior high, Aaron and Ryan swore that I looked like the white Arsenio Hall.
Well, first of all, you were wearing that brand of sweaters what was the brand?
Apparatus.
Apparatus, which was kind of a streetwear brand.
It was real more like prep wear. Well, I don't know, street.
I don't know, street prep. That's a
Street
thing.
prep.
I looked that up to put on our website
couldn't
for
find shit.
pictures. Could not. I think that this did not exist.
I have proof. I just need to dig it up somewhere.
So that, plus you had the whatever the white person version of like a high top fade was. Like you had nice high and tight hair.
I had the spiked part.
Yeah, that's the white version.
Wow.
and
I had that for a while too.
Yeah.
And then you were also slender, very slender, and I don't know, like
Long touching fingers.
really the thing that set it off the most was there's a movie that maybe the listeners have heard of, and if you hadn't, you should.
Absolutely.
Amazon Women on the Moon. Which who directed that? Was that like
Zuckers?
a Rob Reiner? Or I don't think it was a Zucker thing.
Or was it Landis? Let's find out.
Hang on.
At
any
I
rate,
say it's Zuckers.
At one point, we did have a nickname for you of Fingers, Caleb.
Yeah, D's, and I go by very old handles were D's fingers.
That's right. That was an old email.
because of your piano playing. It's had multiple directors,
Oh,
including John Landis.
And Joe Dante.
But at any rate, it was kind of the movie is kind of it's a comedy. It's sort of in little vignettes.
It's like an
that
anthology
sort of tie
film.
together. Yeah, and they're all kind of funny. There's lots of people in it before their time. Roseanne Arquette was in it. Arsenio Hall, that segment was the first segment. That's the opening segment.
And it's unfortunate that it's the funniest.
It is the funniest by far, but in the character, I think it's called Bad Day or something like that. Arsenio comes home from work and everything that's possible that's bad happens to him.
God,
he's
it's
getting
so good.
He's getting wrong phone calls, which isn't a thing that really. Yeah, I guess it does happen. He's getting. He got electrocuted
Man,
at one point.
ain't no filming here, man.
Don't ruin it for the
Anyway,
listeners.
Go look it up.
he
I'll
makes
put
some
it- I'll
crazy faces that were reminiscent of Caleb making crazy faces.
Mm-hmm.
And Ryan and I made that call, and we have stuck to it ever since.
It is,
Caleb is a white Arsenio Hall.
I made my girlfriend watch Amazon Women on the Moon with me, which basically it's like you're changing channels on to UHF station like late at night, and it is so good.
I was going to say it's good and bad at the same time, but we'll just say it's good because
I think it's legitimately
the things
good.
that I would say, I don't think there's anything really bad about it. It's probably even was a little bit ahead of its time in terms of like, I bet you would call the comedy subversive.
Yeah,
for its time.
for like what year was it? Like 80?
It's 87. It's later
87?
than I thought.
Oh yeah, me too. It
I
does.
I would think it's
maybe
reminiscent.
not as progressive as.
Yeah, no, I thought it was more like it reminded me of like the airplane era.
I do think
Yeah.
it's funny. And speaking of connection to this movie, it has an unsolved mystery style parody in it.
With, is it Robert Stack?
No, it's not.
That does the bullshit or not?
No, it's not. It's a
never
lookalike.
mind, Never mind.
It looks
never
like him
mind.
and talks like him.
Gotcha. Arsenio Hall, Steve Guttenberg.
Yeah, the Goot.
Carrie Fisher is in it.
B.B. King.
B.B. King is in it. Henny Youngman is in it.
Oh, Kelly Preston. I forgot she was in that.
I
Yeah.
forgot who that was. Who was the girl from the Playhouse
Play thing. I don't think she was.
That informed my hormonal instincts.
It was
at a young
weird. That
age.
was the first time, like, I think that I realized there were two different versions of films could be made because they shot that scene in two ways. In one, she's totally naked, and in the other,
Right.
she's in a swimsuit, so they could
Right.
air it on TV.
right.
It bombed at the box office.
Did it?
That.
I'm trying to. David Allen Greer. I know he's in
Yeah.
it as well. Okay. Well, anyway,
Budget of $5 million, box office $548,000.
that's a
That
flop.
is cripplingly
That is a
terrible.
flop. So, and then Ryan, Dan Fielding. I think at one point we
I
thought his
think-
face looked like
No,
It was because like the smiling.
John Larroquette.
Well, it goes beyond his physical features. I think he has a demeanor of John Larroquette sometimes.
I did, especially in the era of like misogyny is funny,
Yeah.
which was the '80s, like Cheers and Night Court in particular. I definitely styled myself after those Lotharios, where I'm like, oh, it's cool to have sex with a bunch of women and not care about them and be the fun guy that everybody loves.
Yeah, not to mention he's literally on the show. He's flirting with women during trial.
Yes, absolutely.
But also, I mean, you could say like the era of misogyny is funny, but he was frequently the foil of that
It's
show.
true.
Like everybody like looked down on him kind of in
Yeah,
that
but
way.
he had redeeming qualities, and there was a
Sure.
lot of.
Those were like those very special episodes where he
Right.
does something nice but doesn't want anybody to know about
Like he
it.
performed an appendectomy on somebody or
Oh,
something
yeah.
like that in
Something.
like in
I think
the
they were trapped in
Great
it.
Northwest.
He
maybe
talked
I can't
Roz
remember.
off of jumping off a building. She was screwed up on medication.
Every now and again.
And yeah,
even
yeah.
Ryan does something good. Remember that?
Accidentally. And actually, Sam Malone from Cheers, I was obsessed with like the fact he was obsessed with his hair, and I used to sometimes in junior high wear a fanny pack, which I will credit myself with. A bunch of people started wearing fanny packs after I wore them in our junior high, and I used to carry a comb and hairspray in it.
God.
Good
Did you use
Lord.
it in the bathroom where you were like,
No. You can't use it in the bathroom because nobody's going to see you. You have to do it in the hallway.
He's got to be seen applying the hairspray.
I like my hair, ladies.
And so
I basically was searching for a personality and was just like, oh, this is what I
Landing
that's
on
like,
some really good role models.
I mean, yeah, but that's like what people do. You know, whenever you're you're starting to like, you want to be a writer, you kind of ape off of someone else's style, and then hopefully you find your own. I'm still looking.
Right, right.
are we still in the intro?
We're still in the
Yes!
intro.
Shit.
Guys, we have an international shout out I'd like to share with you all, and I think that Ryan will especially appreciate this, as will my wife. This is actually an update. This is actually a DeBears 85 Rule style update. Given to us from friend of the show, Robinus Prime.
Hey.
And the audience will no doubt remember our little our little listener appreciation event where we shipped a little something to those that had reviewed the show. And you may also remember it's very difficult for us to keep tabs on international reviews. We have to very manually go in and look. And I just randomly was like, I wonder if we've got any new reviews up in Great Britain. And I did the thing, and I saw that he'd given an update. So I'll share that with you guys. Headline, tastypussy.com. An After Dark special.
Oh yeah.
Obviously, the main show is great, but there isn't enough After Dark anymore.
Oh shit.
Really missed a trick by not getting Melody to do an After Dark session. Now that's a little perverted, Robinus.
Okay.
I think I know where you're
I'm
going
gonna
with
have
this.
her on the show.
back to the show. I'm thinking 1 week should be just the wives and significant others, replacing you completely
It's just a
with
show.
the guys just watching. What do you think?
Okay.
Getting even creepier. So glad Caleb survived. I'd have missed his voice, and it would have sounded like a one-voice podcast with other two merging together.
God
Just
damn it.
kidding. You're all doing a great job. I'm assuming he's referring to you falling down the stairs.
No. When he had the flu.
Remember, I did a whole episode for my deathbed.
That's right.
That's right. That's right.
God, what must have those sheets have smelled like?
They smelled like death.
So thank you for that update, Robinus. And, I know better than to look a gift horse in the mouth, so let me reflect for a moment on the lesson of the 85 Bears rule. We loved his review updates, which consisted mostly of obscure movie quotes, but after mostly jokingly suggesting that instead of replacing his old reviews with new ones, he should open new iTunes accounts and boost our overall number of reviews, he quit coming around.
So we're not doing that.
So, question, would I really have liked him to do that? Of course.
Oh my God,
Did I really
it's
expect
happening.
him to do that? No, but anyway, we loved the Bears, and now because of our jokey jackassery, he's ghosted us. Come back to us, Bears.
We
love you.
have a lot of international listeners. Like I look at especially Canada and the UK. We have a lot of listeners from there. And then there's random
None
like
from Boston for some reason.
It's a dark hole in the middle of the country.
Before we get into the show, one more quick thing. Next week, we'll have our special guest, Mike Seibert of Mike Seibert Radio. He does a podcast where he publishes often, where he covers his kind of favorite topics du jour, often pop culture, pop nerd culture, movies, music. He's a huge Transformers guy. He had us on his show a couple of weeks back. And we are excited to have him on our little program next week, and we're going to talk about the death of Ultra Magnus. Looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of fun, so check out Mike Seibert Radio. You'll find that on iTunes, Stitcher, and SoundCloud, and check out the interview with us. So, last episode recap. Galvatron had a little mid-year review with his boss Unicron, and he got a needs improvement on his Matrix-destroying abilities.
Well, nobody gets 5s.
That's true, yeah. I mean, you can't be the
Which is
best.
horseshit. You're crippled, like you're already gaming the system. I can't win.
Perceptor took a leadership position at getting the ship welded back together, and Daniel, he helped. And right as we thought the Junkions were about to mix it up with our Autobot pals, the Decepticons emerged on the horizon. Ultra Magnus noticed them, and right off the bat here, at the top of the minute, he shoots an order right from the hip. Draw them off and double back to the shuttle.
And it almost immediately works flawlessly.
That's right.
As they detonate 4 quarters of the ship.
The very first thing that happens are some missiles are fired by Galvatron from Cyclonus to the ship, which obliterates it pretty much immediately. So, which by the way, that is a very cool.
It is cool.
Animated sequence that flyby. Let's take another look at
it's
it
at like
again.
5613 is
5605 to 5618.
And I'll just say a little something. Whenever we see Galvatron inside the cockpit of Cyclonus, that red light, they have that in submarines so that you can preserve your night vision and read instruments. I don't know if you knew that. But also,
I'm glad to relearn it.
Yeah, thanks.
I'm still.
It's
saying,
the third episode I've done.
I'm still saying that there's the lights are not like that in the cockpit. The windows are tinted that color.
I'm going with tinted.
I'm
window.
aware of that. But I will also say it's super weird still to me to have Galvatron flying Cyclonus.
Right.
I mean, that would be like someone piloting Skylynx or Astrotrain.
Maybe he's not flying Cyclonus. He's just
He's
pushing
just the
the
trigger
button
man?
on the missiles, perhaps.
That seems really intimate.
Yeah, well, I mean...
Well, he's used to having.
He's edging him right up until now he's about to let him go.
Don't make me horny.
So the Autobots run away from the shuttle. Go
I'm
ahead.
sorry, one real quick thing about detonating the shuttle. They're fixing the shuttle in the previous minute. I just realized there is a lot of this movie is taken up, like a lot of the movie real estate is taken up with discussing transportation. Like,
So
well, like
How are we going to get there?
fixing the ship,
What are we gonna do to
launching the
get
shuttles, getting the ship,
Interesting.
Unicron giving Galvatron a ship.
Go there and do this thing.
Yeah, it's a lot of moving around. It's like a Department of Transportation training video.
yeah, it's a logistical nightmare.
We'll advocate for the city of Springfield to watch this movie, and hopefully that'll get things
Zing!
changed around here.
Well, come on, sidewalks, please.
So the Autobots are going to run away from the explosion. Luckily, they all made it out unscathed. Springer, Captain Obvious, notes that the shuttle's been destroyed, and he transforms. And this is one of the worst animated moments.
It's not great
in the movie.
I think this is
by
the first
way.
time we see him transform.
And I noted that as well. Yeah, he transforms into helicopter mode and flies off as Decepticon laser fire kind of rips up the ground all around him. Yeah, this is, I think, if you're the viewer, you're like, oh, Springer's a helicopter. I get it. We don't even know he's a triple changer.
Not yet.
At this point.
That's in a few minutes from now. We see that utilized.
But right at 56, we'll say 20 to 21, a sweep comes by and shoots at the screen right in front of us, and that's actually a pretty cool explosive moment that helps transition kind of to the next sequence of events, which is one of my I'd never really thought of it before, but it turns into one of the more questionable scenes in the movie as far as I'm concerned, especially as we talk about how Daniel is constantly in danger. So the animation's pretty good. It's another one of these animated background sequences, which I always like. So Blur, RC, and Daniel are running away from some laser fire. RC just right off the bat transforms and speeds off, doesn't say a word.
Yeah.
Daniel, in a panic, screams, "What do I do?"
to Blur.
And Blur, always in a panic, tells him, "Transform, transform. I know you can do it. You can do it." And then he
just
transforms
bugs out
and proceeds to drive away, just leaving Daniel to fend for himself.
Both of them are like, peace.
So, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah,
RC is
it's
supposed
messed
to be the warm, courageous
It is
protector.
super out of character.
She's
for
out of
her.
there.
Yeah.
Blur's not much better. A little tip. Yeah, here's a little tip, and see you later.
Yeah, I know you can do it.
Why the fuck did they, again, we've visited this a million times. Why did they bring him into space? Why didn't they leave him on Earth?
insane.
Look, I mean,
So shitty.
A crazy chain of events have led him from being hanging out by a fishing pond to in a weird suit running on a junk planet for his life.
And
It's
they're like,
messed
I
up.
hope you don't die. We're not going to do
It's-
anything
right.
about it.
When he woke up this morning, he probably had no idea that he was going to be doing what he's doing now.
Right. Yeah.
Of course, he wouldn't have any idea, but it's still
Yeah,
fucked up.
he's never been through any. This is a coming of age moment for him. Once again, as Caleb's viral sensation of a Twitter post proved us, D is for danger, no doubt.
Take care of yourself, Dano.
Coming up on the 5630 moment here, we've got an up close of Daniel, which I love. That it's a great drawing of he in his exosuit. He's continuing to run. He's trying to will himself
Now,
into transforming.
if you want to pause that right there. Yeah, at 56:33, we're seeing him run and thinking transform. I've been thinking about this because he's about to transform of like,
He's praying.
I was thinking more of like where his arms are because I am trying to figure out like the logistics of the exosuit because clearly his hands don't reach down to the hands.
Right.
I think that it must be like a joystick situation up near his chest because of the
But
way
then he's like this.
it's true, but like when he transforms,
you can't see me, but my fists are like smashed into my
Tyrannosaurus?
chest. Yeah, Tyrannosaurus style. I think it's probably more like, think about this. He's standing up, and the joysticks are down here. And he's still the
That's
same
I don't
same
know if that's
story,
any
but
better.
it's,
So I don't know. Yeah, but like I can only assume that because we'll see when we get there when he transforms. Like all of his limbs are broken. If it's not that,
That's a good point. I was about to say, well, they're just out there kind of in the tubes, but when he transforms, that would be very painful.
or at least his forearms are broken. Like that, maybe that's all that's can get partway into those armholes. Maybe that's where the joysticks are, wherever
Right.
his arms go. But if he transforms and it just cracks his forearms in half. So he is, a shot comes at him as he's running, and he's continuing to try and transform. We see some questionable choices in characters flying
it is
into the
weird.
screen, namely Shrapnel and
wait a minute.
Scavenger land in front of him. Not so much Scavenger, but Shrapnel was transformed into, I believe, one of the
sweeps. Yeah.
But however, we all know that Insecticons can duplicate themselves.
It's true.
So I guess we have to forgive it.
Really?
I don't know that the movie people
Yeah, they
were
were
thinking
pushed-
that when they put him in here, but
They were the ones that pushed out of the shuttle because they were
Damage.
run over by Cup and
oh,
Hot Rod.
sure, but you said they could replicate their stuff.
Oh, they can make clones. Yeah.
yeah, in
I didn't know
the
that.
episodes of the show, they didn't exhibit that power on this, unless you want to count this moment. But they didn't exhibit that power in the movie. But yeah, on the show, there'd be hundreds of them flying around. You know, swarming, as you will. if you like.
I don't remember exactly, but I think they're just like kind of mindless. I don't think they're that effective because otherwise, why not just do that?
all the time.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So they take a land. They land. They take aim at Daniel. They call him a human germ.
I love that line.
And finally, through the power,
Destroy the flesh creatures.
that was pretty good.
Thanks.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcoming Frank Welker, special guest.
I'm lost in a kid.
I'm lost in a kid. God, that's hard on my voice. I am not a professional voice actor.
We need to have a shirt or something. It
says I'm lost in a cave. That's not bad. That's a good idea.
So the mantra of transform finally works for him. He turns into something that allows him to kind of drive and smash right into both, knock them both on their ass, and escape.
So that's a lot of confidence to just charge.
I know.
And
did you see where his hands were though?
Yeah, they're up by his head.
I don't
That's
know
why-
if that answers any questions.
That's why I thought that when he transforms, there's an up close where
It
he
becomes joysticks. to
drives
drive
at the
that.
camera. Yeah, it looks like he's holding joysticks, which is why I assume
Okay.
maybe they were down by his chest. I don't know, but yeah,
All right,
it's,
that being the case, I will argue that your first assumption is true, that he's operating this suit from like this, which is still seems
it's
like
weird. Yeah,
But with his fists right in front of him, like jammed into his body.
or maybe it's like a haptic thing where like you can just use your fingers and to operate like the different.
Let's break this down frame by frame here.
Yeah, he's got
I mean,
joysticks up by his
so
face.
so the joysticks flipped up from where they were right in front of him to his face.
I don't know. Yeah.
That would be an uncomfortable position to drive from.
Oh sure,
By
you
the way,
gotta
laying
hold your
down
head
flat,
up. Mm-hmm.
holding your head up, yeah, with the joysticks.
It's non-optimal.
Yeah. So,
But you get to transform, which is
Yeah.
also like, okay, here's a point where like, and it comes in a little bit later too, but like this is where I actually start to like Daniel because he's actually doing things and being
Right.
effective.
Sure.
And I will kind of say, I may be stealing this from where I say it later, but this is kind of like, I would say there's a juxtaposition between Daniel's arc and Hot Rod's arc
Absolutely,
where they're
yeah.
both maturing.
and since we are the child is the stand-in for us, as we've
Well, who's Hot
posited
Rod to
earlier.
stand in for?
I don't know, my
Dick.
absent father.
Oh. It got real.
Just knock him up and disappear, Dad.
Okay. Sorry, Kurt.
It was a real good Christmas at the old Bender household this year.
Dad gave me a carton of smokes or carton of cigarettes that smoke up.
Okay, so so he knocks Daniel knocks the Decepticons on their ass, and the camera pans up along a huge pile of junk, and we see Galvatron and the sweeps fly into the screen. Galvatron demands everybody to attack, and from inside what I assume is Cyclonus'
I think so.
cockpit.
Yeah.
So I guess it's not red in there. Okay.
No, it's not right. Correct.
But shouldn't that be red? Shouldn't we
No.
still see red through the other
like-
side?
I think it's
not a
tinted
double
one.
tint.
It's
It's
a
like
one-way
one
tint.
way. Yeah.
Does that exist?
No.
Maybe on Cybertron. Or
I will say, watching this, like where we're at like 56, 55, where the Autobots are running down this trench, this is really where Perceptor's alt mode fucks him. Like everybody else is a car.
I have a.
Oh, that's right. He said-
there, in a script deviation, I can't remember if it's this episode or next episode. I have an interesting thing about Perceptor's transformation that'll come into play.
I don't think I have
no
that.
spoilers on that. But we see
Perceptor get in one of the vehicles and ride? Just like Galvatron is inside Cyclonus.
it'd be like a human riding a dog, though.
Or a human riding a human. More like.
I guess, but in terms of scale. So and which, by the way, that internal cockpit is a pretty neat
pretty
looking drawing as well. So
It reminds me of Flight of the Navigator.
yeah. So as the scene closes, we see Ultra Magnus and Perceptor shooting and taking shots from the swarm of Decepticons. In fact, Perceptor gets knocked back from one of those shots. They recover, and that's really where this minute ends, guys. So we're doing really good on time. By the way, I think we can probably
We can
close
make
this
it.
out.
I wish that I don't. I mean, I obviously, like Caleb says, I don't ever want to force it, but I like the longer ones.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm not intentionally trying to make this one short. We're luckily.
No, I know.
It's
Our
natu-
friend Serge Bomba liked that short one.
Oh my
so
God.
He did really good this week. He was in a side conversation that we weren't involved in, and somebody said in that conversation they should have a podcast reviewing the Transformers
Right,
or
that's
something
right.
like that. And he was like, he put it right there in front of him.
Oh,
Shout
I
out to
see that.
Sean.
Yeah, he did good. So we ended up getting, I think, at least
Part of the street team, the APC.
Yeah, that's right.
What are we again? The APDC street team. If we mail you flyers, will you hand them out at your local arcades and
We
comic
need
shops?
to come up with something to call our
Instead
listener
of the
base.
street, like something better than like the Cyber Street team or the Cybertrons. I don't know. You know what I'm talking.
Listener contest. Come up with a name for our APDC street team.
You do it.
Also, we're looking graphic designers who would like experience doing free work for. I'm just kidding. That's just something you see all the time.
Yeah.
So, guess what? Because of the phrase "human germ," we have a voice actor, guys,
Oh.
to add to the mix here.
Who is that,
These are few and far
Scrapper,
between.
or-
That would have been Scavenger.
Scavenger.
Scavenger, yes. So that voice actor goes by the name Don Messick. And in this episode, he conducted what I believe is his only voiceover in the movie, like we said, Scavenger, sorry. For Transformers, he also voiced the ever grumpy Gears, as well as what I would say tier 1 player, Ratchet.
Ooh.
So he started in Baltimore doing voice work on the radio. Eventually, he performed for troops in the Army as part of the Special Services. He eventually got to L.A. He was doing a lot more radio voice stuff and got his start in voice acting after being hired for the Droopy series. So this guy was a very Hanna-Barbera-centric guy. Check out this guy's resume. Dr. Benton Quest from Johnny Quest, Bam Bam from the Flintstones, Astro on the Jetsons, Ranger Smith and Boo Boo in Yogi Bear, Papa Smurf and Azrael on the Smurfs, Hampton J. Pig from Tiny Toons, and also was the original voice for 20 years or something like that of Scooby-Doo, which Frank Welker does today.
Wow.
As a side, I think we
I
probably
bet
mentioned
that bought him a house.
I'm sure.
Yeah,
it
no
did.
kidding. You get a lot of Scooby snacks with that kind of scratch.
Unfortunately, they did pay him a Scooby Snacks.
And speaking of unfortunately,
God damn it.
I forgot to write down my notes, but I think he did pass away. Hang on a second here.
Want to take bets on when and how?
Fucked to death.
Decade and cause of death.
I
Don't look.
guess 92 and gored by a bull.
Okay. I will say 98
Autoerotic asphyxiation.
Yeah.
That's how I'm going to go.
This is so disrespectful.
It is very unfortunate.
1997, Caleb.
Okay, I was close.
You had the closest on
71.
the year. Who was closest on the cause of death? Turns
A
out
stroke.
a stroke. Hey,
So-
you autoerotic asphyxiation. What are you doing during that?
don't-
Stroking, obviously.
Oh, God.
Caleb takes the win all around.
R.I.P.
He was recording voices when he passed away.
Well, that's the way to go.
yeah.
You mean it's literally in the studio when he died?
It says he was recording voices at Hanna-Barbera
No,
in
but-
September of 1996.
He had a stroke.
Oh wait, that didn't kill him. I'm sorry.
No, but
A
it says a second stroke, yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Damn.
Many of his friends and peers came to pay tribute to him, including Casey Kasem.
Casey Kasem was there.
All right.
Wow.
I was there. And Greg Berger,
All right,
too.
This is a star-studded episode. So I think with that takes us to our the listener will recall that me, Aaron, likes to go first, and Ryan goes second. You know why. I'm going to hop into it. My version of the script is mostly similar, except for the fact that Perceptor gets a kill, guys. That sequence where he and Magnus are running, he gets hit with a laser, and in the script, Magnus stops to help him, and as a sweep roars towards them, Perceptor transforms into a cannon and fires, obliterating the sweep, and then saying to Ultra Magnus that, "My lacerations were primarily superficial."
Oh. And Ultra Magnus is like, huh?
Right. And then Springer from far away, "He means he's not hurt." And that's the only difference in my script.
Oh, I don't have that. So in mine, this is Ryan. Springer. This is right after Ultra Magnus says, "Get everyone away from the shuttle. We've got to draw them off and then double back." That's actually kind of more my Springer voice. Anyway, Springer says, "Scatter and follow me," which is a very confusing and conflicting set of instructions. And then it's basically the same as in the movie where RC just transforms and lights out without any word, and Daniel's like, "What do I do?" Where Blur says, "Transform, think it transform, you can do." Trent completes his transformation and roars off, "It."
What?
Yes.
What pieces
yeah.
of shit?
He transforms during mid-sentence.
Yeah, and then ... it.
He's even a bigger dick
Okay.
in this version of the script.
And then in this one, actually, they have Ramjet and Dirge and what's the other guy's name? The Conehead. They have the Coneheads in here. I'm like, oh
Thrust.
yeah, the Coneheads are still alive. We don't see them in the movie, really.
Right. I think you'll see them a little bit later. I think
Maybe.
one of them dies, maybe even on screen. But anyway.
And then basically, in this one, Shrapnel is still alive, so that's probably where the confusion comes up because it does say it's Shrapnel and Scavenger. And then Human Germ made all the way, which is good. And then on Daniel, as his exosuit suddenly transforms into skeletal structured racing vehicle, and I'm like, oh yeah. In this script, the exosuit's like a weird cage around him, very strange. Exosuit spouting wheels and rocket boosters as Daniel takes off at great speed with a delightful yell, driving through Scavenger and Shrapnel. Way to go!
That doesn't make sense.
I know.
He's complimenting himself as he
guess.
smashes through them.
And then we're on Galvatron where he says, "Separate and run them to the ground. I want none to survive." And that's basically where that minute ends.
All right.
I love it. I love some of the
was a
script
good
deviation.
deviation.
Oh, if you like that, you'll love the next one. It is very insane.
We're in for an adventure for sure. Well, as is customary, often in this show, we typically get a visit from the. We can.
I am the ghost of the iconic moment.
I'll just say it because I think it'll probably be shared among all of us, or maybe not. But for me, Daniel transforming is probably the iconic moment of this minute for me. As a kid, it kind of fueled that fantasy that perhaps one day I'll transform.
Absolutely. That's what I wrote too. And then I was stealing a little bit from this because that's where I wrote that I think it's an intentional juxtaposition where we see Daniel and Hot Rod maturing. But yeah, it's a real game changer where Daniel can now transform and do things.
I agree. My slightly different though. That point where he's praying, I think that he's. I think he's
just
praying,
whispering to
I think
himself.
he's praying to the Lord Jesus Christ for himself to transform, much like the Christ.
It transforms into
A corpse and then went to heaven.
Yeah, he rose from the dead and transformed into the Christ.
A real judgmental asshole.
the risen Christ, aka God.
Yes, that's right.
And this is where the podcast turns into a Christian podcast about how we talk about the Jesus symbolism.
Honestly, it would help us out in the iTunes ratings. There are a number of religious transforming podcasts.
I'm gonna start associating some Christian analogies.
We'll call it Christ Corner.
Christ Corner.
Oh, Jesus, here we go. I don't know whether
call it "Oh Jesus, here we go." Here we go. Way to go. Oh Jesus, here we go.
We're gonna call it Nailed It.
Now we've lost our audience, A, for being sacrilegious, and also B, maybe for those who don't think we're sacrilegious and we're actually they're gonna bring church into this. I was trying to keep church and state separate on this.
It's a real lose-lose situation.
And now for "Oh Jesus, here we go."
And then, I said this earlier, but after that, after the segment's over, we go, nailed it.
Oh!
The podcast where we teach biblical lessons through the lens of the Transformers.
I think Ultra Magnus is a false prophet.
Interesting. Who's the Judas?
Well, let's see. Well, let's not take it. We gotta wrap this up.
All right.
Let's see.
Next time on the Autopod Decepticast.
Yet another Autobot leader gets got.
Starscream would be the Judas. Starscream would be the Judas. He betrayed Megatron.
Holy shit.
Okay, go ahead.
And Galvatron gets possession of the rock.
Feed me the rock.
Pass me the rock.
Yeah.
We're just two guys having a good time.
Yeah.
Having a good time. I like sports. Okay, never mind.
Whoa.
Those are some old Lonely Island references.
Got it.
Sorry, everybody. Should I just redo that?
Nope.
Okay.
Moving forward.
And you can hear all of that on the next episode of Autopod Decepticast. So listen to the show, guys.
Yes.
iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, and TuneIn. Follow us on our social media, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. All of them at APodDcast. And, of course, there's the web presence, autopoddecepticast.com. There'll be some stuff on there.
Yeah, I think I have Caleb's senior picture, so I'll put that up next to Arsenio Hall.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then I'll put a picture of myself smiling like Dan Fielding.
Yes, you should.
This is great. iTunes users, please rate and subscribe.
5 stars, please.
Bye.
See you guys.
Bye, bye, bye.
Cybertron!
Okay, I'll just wait.
I'm already.
Yeah, that's okay. I'm still waiting though. Doesn't change the status of what I'm doing. Should we shut this?
Just to make him mad?
Yeah, man. I don't even know if it makes a difference, but
He likes the window open.
well, since it's approaching evening, perhaps it won't matter as much. I wish I wasn't as stuffed up as I am.
Well, I've had a sinus infection for 2 years. Nobody can tell me what's wrong with me.
How'd you get to the bottom of this shit?
I haven't. It's still happening. I went to an ear, nose, and throat guy, and they're like,
Maybe that's what I've had my whole life.
I've had it since like 2 Halloweens ago.
How do they know it's a sinus infection?
Well, I mean, that's because it's like a cold always. Like my sinuses are always kind of stuffed up, and I have to sniff and I cough a lot in the morning
Why can't that be allergies?
because it happens all the time. Like it's never not like that. And even when I stay in different places, it's not. It just stays the same. So it's not where I'm living. So nobody can tell me what it is.
Okay.
Ted Kaczynski is handsome.
He certainly was. He was doing that hipster thing before. He
He,
was hipster, pre-hipster.
He was a genius.
Yeah,
He was like 167.
that's like a great picture. of
He
him.
was kind of handsome in his youth before he went bonkers.
Yeah. He looks like the guy from Mr. Show, J, whatever his last name is from Mr. Show.
The guy who played the herky jerky dancer.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does kind of.
Yeah.
He smelled like spoiled milk. Ted Kaczynski.
Oh, yeah?
That's a thing with a lot of serial killers. They smelled like spoiled milk. Like David Berkowitz, the Son of Sam killer, he drank milk and smelled like spoiled milk.
I like how under notable work it says industrial society and its future.
His manifesto?
Yeah.
That's, boy, it is hard to read.
You guys ready?
And kind of racist.
Yeah, well, it helped get him caught.
It did. His brother's wife noticed it and then showed it to her husband, and he was like, "Oh, this."
Spoiler, I'm watching a docudrama about it.
I would assume you knew it since you brought it up. That's
Not
how
there
they caught
yet.
him.
I know they've been analyzing the language.
And I won't spoil it. Then I can tell you what a specific phrasing that.
I vaguely remembered. I actually listened to an interview with the guy that invented the field on Fresh Air with Terry Gross. But it's been a while, so it's not fresh. It's been a while.
Well, the thing that specifically caught his brother's eye was not only did Ted Kaczynski talk about this kind of shit to everyone all the time, but also there was a specific phrase that he and his mother used, which was, the normal phrase people say is "have your cake and eat it too."
Oh, yeah,
They would
they're-
say "eat your cake and have it too."
Right. Which is actually the correct way.
Why
I
is
believe.
it the correct way?
I think that's the actual correct way. We've just been saying
The
it
original,
wrong. We've been saying it wrong like since 50 years after that phrase came out. Here we
like
go.
it doesn't matter.
Brussels, where we sell good